Hi, I'm Prashanthi Chitre. I'm the Artistic Director and founder of PCIPA, a Performing Arts Institute from Redmond, Washington. And I'm very excited to be here with Seattle Theatre Group's Best of Dances. Warriors of Ancient India. As part of this dance and visual presentation, we focused on a very important aspect of soldiers' journey prior to any war according to tradition of India. Prior to any war, a lot of rituals were performed for the well-being of the kingdom and the soldiers. And these rituals included the mantra chantings, homa, which is like offerings made to the fire with a specific intention in mind, and celebrations through song and dance, through activities which included mock fights and so on. A lot of rituals were performed because they wanted to make sure that when the soldiers stepped on the battlefield, they were all feeling loved, supported, and energized and pumped up and motivated, knowing that the entire kingdom is with them, and they, no matter what the result is, they are going to return back to the kingdom feeling like a winners. And so for this visual representation, what we actually did was we used few different dance elements from Indian dances, and it's a fusion act. And one of them is Kuchipudi, Indian classical dance form, and we also used some folk elements, and also the main important aspect is another one is Kalari, a martial art dance form from India. So we used all the different elements and fused it to create this visual presentation. The dancers who performed in this dance in year 2015, they're all between 7 to 13 years of age range. And they were all very enthusiastic and mischievous bunch of kids that I worked with. And I love them a lot. So this one is from choreography point of view, I used a lot of precision-based formations, which involved slow and controlled movements to fast and quick movements. And I was a little nervous about using this choreography with that age group because they were, to begin with, they were young kids, and also the age group, the age range was very wide, and the skills and abilities were quite different. But I decided to go ahead anyways with them and treated them like mature dancers and taught them this choreography. And I have no regrets about it because they were so enthusiastic about it. They gave their 100% working on this choreography. And probably out of the 14 kids we had in this dance, only 2 or 3 were trained classical dancers. But everybody jumped in to learn all the details of it. And Kalari, like I'm a trained Indian classical dancer, but I'm not trained in Kalari. So I picked up these Kalari dance movements because we wanted to show the mock fights that happened as part of these rituals. And Kalari was the best form, and because that was the form that was used. And it was great because kids were so excited about it, For them, the fight was everything. But we worked through it. We had very few accidents, but we survived through all. And eventually we ended up creating a beautiful piece, and that kids were excited about, and I was very proud of them. And it ended up being part of STG's dances, and that's what we'll be sharing with you today. Dances Finale is an amazing concept where all the different cultures, different dances come together to create something that is very unique to watch, very pleasing and very mesmerizing to watch. And my kids, who were between 7 to 13 years of old, they had a blast being part of the finale sequence because they got to learn so many different dance forms and different styles, and also they danced with different age groups, and they performed all of this sequence on the stage, and they were just so excited. They were on cloud nine. They grew in confidence because it's like, they were learning so many skills in interacting with different the diversity, not just in the dance forms but with people and their experiences. So that I felt was very valuable in their growth, and I really appreciated STG's effort and bringing up of all these groups together. It was really beautiful, and like I said, my students were on cloud nine. They were super excited. They grew in confidence and probably a few inches taller too. And I think for me it was my first time with STG, working with STG in 2015, and I just grew fond of STG, and at the same time everything they bring as value to the community and the dancers, the young, especially the young dancers, and their growth. So like I mentioned, I was working with the age group 7 to 13 years old. So this dance is not difficult to do, but it has a lot of details and the slow and controlled movements. So what I would recommend for you all to is just pay attention, go with the flow, experience it for the sake of experiencing what it means from ancient ritual point of view or the movement point of view. This particular piece that I'll be teaching you will have all the three elements. Elements from classical dance form, a couple of elements from the folk dance form, as well as elements from Kathakali. Right? This is not like, I will not completely call it a classical dance, I will not completely call it a folk dance, I will not completely call it Kathakali, because it is a fusion piece. But this one carries all those different elements, and that is what I love to teach you today. So let's get started, and I'm going to start going over the steps one at a time. It starts with the slow and controlled movements, and I'm going to go over it, and please follow along. And I'm going to go initially with the counts, and then we'll play with the music, and we'll go back again and see how we can bring all this together. Sounds good? First thing, remember, you have to have the right form, right? So what we're going to do first, watch this foot, right? I'm basically lifting my heel, right? I'm holding it there, like this, lift it up, right? Obviously, I'm not going to leave it there. I'm going to take that foot and put it in the back, right? I'm going to put it in the back, and also pay attention to my hand gestures. This is called Ardha Chandra. Ardha Chandra really means half moon. Half moon. You can see like the crescent moon. You can show different phases of the moon with this, right? So we can show, of course you can say this is also moon. Obviously it can be the full moon, but this is a visual representation of moon in Indian classical dance form. So I use that, and then bring that hand right on my thighs, right here, right? And also open my chest wide open, and I hold it there. Now, you're going to hold your, this is the first pose, right? And in my first pose, I'm actually going to slightly bend both my knees while keeping my back heel lifted, right? And without compromising on my stance. This is going to be my opening pose, right? Hope you all got that right. Go ahead and do it. Try it. There you go. Awesome, fantastic. Now from here, right, the first movement, right, when we're talking about the first movement, let's bring both hands, these are all fingers together, in front of your eyes, right, and then just turn it on like that. Let's try that one more time. So from here, you're going to bring it into 1 and 2, 3 and 4, right? And then I'm going to bring my foot, which is in the back, sideways. And I'm going to bend. And I'm going to take both my hands up, all fingers together. Take it below. From here, bring it here. Watch what I'm doing here. Just bring it up. Okay? That may have looked a little complicated, but don't worry, I'm going to go over that with you one more time, right? So right here, let's start with our first pose. Right? We are going to bring the hands in front of your eyes and then split them to make it one with your center of your face, right there. Right? Because we need our attention. We're talking about ancient, right? We need that attention single pointed. Do you see that? We're going to turn our attention single pointed way, right? And then we are going to gather our strength, bend down, take the hands from here and bring it up, lift it and hold this pose. Right? So this particular pose that I just did is the stance of Nataraja. Who is Nataraja? Nataraja, a very important aspect of everything that we call dance. He's called Lord of Dance. Nataraja is the form that Indian or every Indian dance form prays to before starting their dance education. So why are we taking that stance? Is because we are bringing in the dance element. So let's do this one more time, right? So you are holding your stance. Bring the hands in front of your eyes. Make your focus single pointed. And bring your movement to invoke Nataraja. Right? And from here, you're going to take this leg back. And you're going to keep this hands, watch my hands. And then you're going to open them in front, like this. Now, what did I do here? Right? This particular dance, the song, you will hear the word called Singam. Right? Singam. Singam means a person or a man who is like a lion. What does lion represent? King of the jungle, right? So now you want the warrior to go on into the war feeling like the king. Feeling like there's nothing that can stop them. Right? So this whole dance, you will hear a lot of Singam in it. So what we are really doing is we are through the rituals and everything. This particular dance, we are energizing the warrior. The way you're energizing is, how do I feel energized? If I believe in my abilities. Right? Not just because somebody is praising me, because I'm believing in my abilities. If that is the case, I have to believe I am the Singam. I am the lion. I am the king of the jungle, or I am the king of the battlefield. Right? So those are the elements that we are bringing in to create this visually, and of course, if you don't understand the language, then sometimes you might not be able to connect, but that's why I'm explaining these words, so that way you understand how we are actually connecting this back to the ancient tradition of India in this dance piece. Right? So we'll go over this one more time, and then we will do this with the dance music, so that way you understand how this flows with the music. Sounds good? So let's get started. We're gonna go from here. Right? 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. You saw that last piece was a quick movement. Right? And this counting actually, the music is pretty slow, so you have to have control movement. Let's do it with the music so you get an idea. Let's get started. Usually, I tell my dancers to smile when they are on the stage. This one, no smiling. Not because I don't want you to be angry, but this is what I told all my 14 kids that I worked with, 7 to 13-year-olds, right? No smiling, no being mischievous, because I wanted to bring the very focused warrior out of them. And for them, most of them, because they're so mischievous, it was harder for them to not smile. And also they've been told throughout, anytime you're on the stage, please smile. This is the only dance where they were told by the teacher, no, you can't smile. So the thing is, it's not about not smiling. It is about bringing the connection back to your own self. So when you are holding the stance, I don't want you to be angry, but I want you to be very focused, right? Not distracted, very focused with what you're doing. So when you're doing this dance piece, so also remember with your stance, you also need that focus in your facial expressions, because Indian dances, when you talk about Indian dances, this is a super important aspect of dance, facial expressions. Okay, you're going to repeat this one more time. Do it with me. There you go. So that's your first invocation. At the same time, your statement that you are the lion, right? Now we're going to move to the next part. The next part, right? We talked about a lot of prayers, and there's another important aspect of Indian tradition which you might know. You might have seen it, or maybe not, but there is a deity by name Ganesha. Ganesha has head of an elephant. So there is a long history and story to it which I will not share with you, but anytime you want to reach out to me and if you're interested in this story, I'm more than happy to share all these stories with you. But for today's, so one of the things, other thing in Indian tradition, you have to have the blessing of Ganesha, because Ganesha is known for removing the obstacles. So you want to pray to Ganesha. You can invoke it. When I say pray, I'm not really taking everything back to religion. It is nothing about religion. It is everything to do about invoking that energy, because it does not matter what religion this. You are invoking a certain energy, and that energy needs to be in you when you walk out and step into the battlefield, right? So Ganesha energy. So the next one we are invoking is Ganesha. So before anything that is done, even today in Indian tradition, not just the battlefield we're talking about, invoking Ganesha is number one, because when you're taking a step forward, you want to ask for strength to face the obstacles, because any path you can avoid obstacles. Every path has obstacles, and so is the warrior. So here we are going to second one we are going to invoke Ganesha for this part. So where were we? We were like, you said, okay, I am this lion, right? Now I'm going to bring my leg together, right? I'm going to make my feet wide open. Watch me like this. Feet wide open. I'm going to first show it to you facing you, and then I'm going to turn 45 degrees and do the step, right? This, what is this? This is called Namaskar. The Namaskara means, in general in India, Namaskara means my soul greets your soul. So it's nothing to do with my face, the race, nothing at all. Basically, my soul is connected to your soul. So that is what we say when we say Namaskar. My soul is your soul, or my soul is connected to your soul, and my soul greets your soul. Right? So we are making this. So every time there is a ritual, you will find in Indian tradition, this is a very common thing. Because this is the part of every dance piece also, because that's part of thing. So that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to bend down, feet wide open. From this pose, right, we're going to bend down all the way. You're going to sitting up, you're going to come up and hold the Namaskara on top of your head, right? So that is what I'm going to do, turning that side, because when I finished the line pose, I was at 45-degree angle that side, right? So now I'm going to bring my leg in the front, bend down, look up, and do the Namaskar. And you may have observed it or not, but I actually got my feet back together when I stood, right? You can watch it this time. So I was here, ready, 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2. Right? Then I'm going to lift. I'm going to turn towards you again just so that you see what I'm doing here. I'm going to lift my right, this leg up, and then I'm going to point my toes, right? And my hands were here, right? What am I doing with my hands? I'm going to bring this hand down right in the center and hold it, right? So watch this one. How I'm going to do this. I'm going to lift my leg while bringing my hand down. So from here, I'm going to put those two pieces from here. 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? From here, I'm going to take my leg back and keep it. Remember our first stance? That's what I'm doing there. And what am I doing with my hands? From here, I'm going to take this hand. Do you see? All fingers are together. I'll bring it to next to my ear. And this hand, this is my hand. So I bring all the fingers together. And I take it from down and take it above. Can you guess what I'm trying to do here? I'm showing the face of an elephant with big ears and the trunk going up. The representation of Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles. So that's the second energy we are invoking here, right? So let's put all of this together. Ready? One more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then quick turn and lift. Okay, now let's repeat all of that you learned from the beginning, and we'll play the music and we'll repeat all the things. Okay, let's get started. Let's take the first dance. 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hope you understood that, and let's give that a try with the music. There you go. Hope you got a chance to try that. Should we try it one more time? Let's give it a try. Alrighty, so those are the two important aspects that we invoked. Now we need to step forward, right? Now we need to believe in our own strength. What are we going to do that? How are we going to express that? So as soon as you're done invoking Ganesha, you're going to bring your hands forward into Namaskar. As I mentioned, you are praying to your own self and your own strength. Because strength is not anywhere outside, it's right here. Right? It's within you. What you need to do is, you need to bring your own strength out. So as a warrior. So what we are going to do from this pose again, right? Take 2 steps, one step forward and then this one, and bring the hands from the back in front of your chest to do the Namaskar. Right? You're going to hold here. And then remember how we split the legs in order to do this pose of Nataraja. We're going to use the same thing. We're going to go down. But this time we are not going to keep the fingers over. We're going to bring the fist. You're going to make a fist because it's much easier to show the strength when you close your fist. This in Indian classical dance form we call mushti. Mushti, like fist, right? Because you want to show strength, you want to show this way, right? So that's what we're going to use in this form, right here. And we're going to show the strength, split the legs, take both the arms down. And when you're lifting, here, roll your strength in. You're basically finding it in, and then you're going to land right? What you're really doing there is you're churning your inside. What you churn inside comes out, right? You start churning your own strength. Churn your own strength, bring it up and land very strongly, right? Small moments, but it carries a lot of meaning every step, right? So I hope you're following me, and then we'll continue doing this one. So from this pose, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, I'm just counting for the sake of, so that you can understand the flow. It's not necessarily in that count order, because this is a music, you have to flow with the music, not necessarily rely on the counting, right? So let's now put all of this together, 1, 2, and 3 to the music. Rudraya.
Mukharabhosya mrugendra sugarjana Sabalamatta gajendra vimardana Vipinarat sadrusho balavanayam.
Did you feel that energy? Did you feel the strength of your own? Let's give that one more try, and then I'll take it forward from you. Sounds good?
Mukharabhosya mrugendra sugarjana Sabalamatta gajendra vimardana Vipinarat sadrusho balavanayam.
There you go. Right? Now we want to bring all of that we have collected, right, into ourselves to feel free. Because finding the strength should make us free, right? If it is making us feel like we found the strength but we are feeling tied somewhere, then you really haven't found your strength, right? So the next movement that we are going to do, so you ask for the strength. From here, how do I put this? This is your greatness. I don't necessarily mean when you say greatness from the pride point of view. Your greatness where you don't know who you are, right? Only when you cut those attachments is when you find the greatness of being you. That is what we are trying to show. Something that is greater than, because even none of us know what our strengths and unique abilities are. But we have to believe that there is something. The only way to reach that again is, that's a story of soldiers tell us a lot on how to prepare ourselves to live the life too. So from here, when you're going, right, open it up. If you see this, I lifted my toes up here. And I bent this foot, this knee, right? And from this position, I am trying to reach the person that I am, right? I want to find in this direction that I'm headed. And what is that direction? The battlefield, right? So one more time from here. Lift the hands up, 45-degree angle, and you also see I opened up all my fingers. These typically we call flower hands, but they can be used to signify a whole different things. When you're opening it up, basically you're showing a vastness, right? So from here, you're lifting up, 1, 2, and then bring all the fingers together to create this, and take this hand out. If you notice, this palm is facing my side wall, and this palm is at the top is facing you. That is what we want to do, right? Okay, 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now, 5, 6, 7, 8. This, the windmill step. It's a cycle. The cycle. the cycle of attachments, right? You want to break from that and become free. That is what we are trying to do in this pose, right? You're doing from here and you're doing this. As you can see, my hands, they were like this when they were here, and they became like that in this pose, and then back to being free, right there. Footwork, I want you to pay attention to this one. You start it from here, and then you shift your weight and lift the toes, right? Shift the weight, turn your leg this way, right? And when you're doing the windmill step, you basically just turn, put the heel down basically, and your body is turned towards me, but my hands are facing the hand that is at the top. Right? So, how does that come together? Put together 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, now let's bring all of that with music.
मुखरवोऽस्य मृगेन्द्र सुगर्जना सबलमत्त गजेन्द्र विमर्दन विपिनराट् सदृशो बलवानयम् समनुजो हि नृसिंहवरस्तथा.
Alright, so let's repeat that one more time on the music, so that way you get to do it a few times and you feel good with the sequence that you learned so far.
मुखरवोऽस्य मृगेन्द्र सुगर्जना सबलमत्त गजेन्द्र विमर्दन विपिनराट् सदृशो बलवानयम् समनुजो हि नृसिंहवरस्तथा.
There you go. Hope you're having fun so far, enjoying being a soldier, and let's learn a few more steps, because now so far what you learned is a whole lot of classical movements fused with some the moves from Kathakali. I kind of mixed a few pieces. Basically, if you see the pick any Indian classical dance form, they all come from a certain book called Natya Shastra, which means it's the book of dance, or you can call it the Bible of dance, which says everything that you need to know about dance and performing dance. So you will see a lot of these hand gestures, movements in every aspect of Indian dance, right? So that's why it's easier for me to mix the styles and still make it look like they're together. They don't look very off, right? So that's as a part of that's been my learning as a choreographer, and then with trying out different things, how beautifully irrespective of what style it is, everything comes together to make into a beautiful piece, because you can't go wrong with that. So the next piece that we are talking about is, now remember I mentioned that we went from slow and controlled moves to fast and quick movements. So the next part that we are moving into is slightly faster, or maybe for some of you it might be more faster than slightly. So, but there are fast and quick movements. And because I had 14 dancers on the stage, I kind of used it very differently, where some dancers start dancing and the others join. So there were a lot of formations that I created in that dance piece. But because we don't have a whole lot of people and it's just you there and it's me here, we are going to slightly make changes. We are going to hold it for a few beats and then join and to get the next set of beats. So what that really means, I'm talking about, so when you're holding here, immediately the music starts, it starts picking up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what we're going to do, the first 4 beats, we are not going to do anything. Typically, I would have done something with that beat, but for the sake of our learning, I'm going to leave those 4 beats. You're going to hold the pose for those 4 beats. Right? Now, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come back to your strength on beats 5, 6, 7, 8. From that stance, you're going to come back to this stance. And then I will show you what you're going to do in the next 8 counts. Right? For the next 8 counts, so let's actually repeat this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the next 8 counts, I'm actually going to jump. Right? If you are a soldier, you have to be quick on feet too. You have to run, or you have to run behind someone, or you run away from a certain situation. You don't know where you need these skills, right? So you are going to jump, right? You all know how important it is to train the body and the mind to go on a specific mission and task. So this is a big task, right? So we have to have certain skills. So now what we are doing is we are going to jump. I'm going to hold my hand stance here. I'm going to first jump to this side. I'm going to go 1, right? I'm going to go jump 2. And I'm going to go, watch this, 3 and 4. I don't transfer my leg. I just lift the leg and put it back again, 3 and 4. So I jump once on each side and I do 3 and 4. How does it look? It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? But what am I doing with my hands? My 1 and 2, 3 and 4 are not going to be this, right? 1 and 2. Right? 1 and 2. Now my hands go all the way from here to here. Okay? So let me count and do that step for you, and then you can see how that goes. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? So I'm actually taking it from here and bringing it back to this place. In fact, you know what? You can bring it back to the same position. You don't have to keep it sideways. So I go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, so keeping things simple, just jump to the side and then make one full circle and then bring it back. Ready? 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we want to repeat the same on the other side. Right? We're going to jump to the other side. 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sense? Yes? So now when I started jumping on this side, if I go this side and come back here, my circle starts on this side and then comes back to the center. Now if I'm jumping to this side first and the second is here, then my hand has to go in this direction back to your center. Right? Let's make that happen. 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all this time, I want your focus to be right there. Don't look here and there. Normally in Indian classical dance, we do say follow the hand movements. We do say if I'm using my hands, for example, there's a simple step, right? I have to do this movement. I have to follow my hand, right? But this particular one, you are showing your strength, keeping your focus on one thing. That is your strength, right? That is your strength to showcase your inner confidence, your ability to not get distracted. Right, so your focus will be right there, no looking right or left for this. Sounds good? Let's try that one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So that's one thing. The next, let me also teach you the next part before I proceed, because this is the last part and this is where I bring in a little bit of a coloring movement. Like I said, I am not a trained coloring artist. I am not trained in coloring, but I only picked up the ones that I can pick up. Some of the simple movements, but they are the necessary ones. Because coloring is, of course, it's martial arts, but it has many different variations. One of the variations, of course, there is fist fighting, right? There is sword fighting. You can use different types of weapons for fighting, and one of the other things that you use is the stick. You use the stick to fight, right? So there are many variations to this one. It's very fascinating. In fact, It's one of the oldest martial art form ever that you will know. If you're interested in finding about coloring, please read up. Like I said, I'm not an expert on it. I'm not teaching you coloring, but I'm going to teach you a fusion piece that's going to be part of this dance, right? So now, we talked about mock fights, right? So one of the things, and the training, we did the fist training right now, or we are going to get into the stick fight, right? How are we going to do it? So you finished your movement right here. Then turn your hands, the fist, sideways. Now imagine you're holding a stick in between these holes, right? You don't want to break them apart. You're not carrying two sticks, you're carrying one stick. Start from the center, go to the side, right? So anytime you move this way or that way, don't break the hands, but move your torso instead. So that way your stick, the illusion of the stick that you have in your hand still remains in place, right? Rather than breaking it apart. So now what you're going to do, you are going to, from this pose, I am going to move my hands to hold a stick. And I'm going to lift my leg to show the stick, right? This is your one, and here I'm using pointed toes, right? It's just for 1 beat, so you don't have to hold there for too long. You're just bringing it 1, and then you're bringing it 2, right? Basically, you turn the stick sideways, and then you brought the stick up, right? And then you're going to take the same leg, the pointed toes, you're going to take it back and your hands back, hold it there and front. Okay, does that make sense? One more time. 5, where were we? We're here, right? There you go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So basically bring it forward again. So you started from here. This is your 1. This is your 2 on top of your head basically, right? Take it back, 3 and 4 in the front, right? Let's try that one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? From here, you're going to drop this side, 5, and then this side, 6. All I'm doing is shifting my weight. But at all times, I'm making sure I'm holding my stick, I'm only moving. If you have a stick, you can practice as long as you are careful with it. I recommend just practicing, pretending like you have a stick. My kids did dance practice with the sticks because they were really young kids and I needed them to experience what it means to hold it. So I gave them sticks to practice with, but they had to be 12 feet apart, not just 6 feet distance. They had to be apart from each other when they were trying it out themselves. Because then once they got a feeling of how to hold it, then I took the sticks away from them and then they got it what they were trying to do, right? So going from here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now 6. Now take this stick, turn it around, bring it up. What I really did, right? You went to the side, right? And this side. Now drop it down, rotate it, bring it back up, right? And then you're going to do the jumping that you just did, right? Hold the stick there and bring it back here, right? And then take it down and then up, right? That's your last move, and then from there you're going into Singham pose again. Do you see what I did? I lifted my both heels. Singham pose. Singham is the lion man, right? Singham pose. I go down. Right? That is the last move that you'll be learning for today. Let's go around, go over all those quick, fast and quick movements that we learned right now. I know they seem like a whole lot of steps because it's just a whole lot of poses and transitions. But if you do it with controlled way, it looks very beautiful when you put it together with the music, right? So let's start from here, this pose, right? You're gonna go 5, 6, 7, 8. You're gonna hold it for the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and jump into single pose. How did you feel? Let's try the music from the top.
मुखरवोऽस्य मृगेन्द्र सुगर्जना सबलमत्तगजेन्द्र विमर्दन विपिनराट् सदृशो बलवानयम् समनुजो हि नृसिंहवरस्तथा
How was that? Did you get a try? Did you feel the connection from the top till here? You know, it doesn't matter. You can always review it back. We are going to try it a few times too. But if you can remember some of these elements that we talked about, not just the dance movements, they all connect. It's like a storytelling, right? You have a story to tell and there are moments to support it. So now it's much easier to remember the moments if you know the story, right? At the same time, it's also the other way around. If you are good at getting the moments faster, you can also remember the story and what it's trying to tell. So both ways, I feel is very beautiful to make those connections with the pieces. Let's repeat this again and get a sense of being a warrior for right now.
मुखरवोऽस्य मृगेन्द्र सुगर्जना सबलमत्तगजेन्द्र विमर्दन विपिनराट् सदृशो बलवानयम् समनुजो हि नृसिंहवरस्तथा
You learned just dance sequence. I just want to go over, review all the hand gestures just so that if you are unclear about some things, you will know. Let's review almost all the hand gestures then. So most of the hand gestures that we used are all fingers together, right? This is called actually patakam. If you are interested in knowing the hands, yes, this is called patakam. But the main thing is to make sure all your fingers are together. Right? This will not work. This will work. Right? This again, it's like, think about it like this, right? If you bring your patakam hands together and, right, kind of just curve it. Right? If you don't have a glass anywhere, you can take water with your hands and drink it. If there are holes, everything that you take leaks. Same thing. Your dance energy leaks if you have any such gaps. So obviously not every hand gesture is same, but this is one of those hand gestures, so keep that in mind. And quite opposite of that, your Alapadma hands. These are afraid, we used it here, this can be used to make a flower pattern like this. And you see, of course, you can never drink water with the Alapadma hands, because the purpose of Alapadma hands is not that. Right? It is to show the expansiveness. It is to show the beauty. Right? Beauty from here, there is systematic approach to this one, right? And this is an opening. It's a flower that opens. Right? So always make sure, know the difference so that way you can implement it right in your dance. This is one thing. The other thing that we talked about in the dance is the mushti, right? When you're showing the mushti, it's just not the hand. Just having a mushti hand like this is not going to make you look strong. What's going to make you look strong and feel strong? Honestly, it is not about the looks, it is about the feeling. Because as a dancer, if you don't feel it, the person watching is not going to feel it. It doesn't matter what story you tell, right? So, this has to be supported by your stance. Strong, super strong. Right? Your chest should be wide open, your hands have to feel very strong. Then there's some meaning that comes. But by itself, of course, this is called mushti. You can show mushti like this, but not much strength here versus here. You agree? Right? You will feel, in fact, you don't want to see it, you want to feel it. You can close your eyes and feel your energy like this and see how it feels, and lift it up and see how it feels. Huge difference, you will find it. And please talk to me if you don't feel the energy, because I would love to show you where we need to kind of tune in, so that maybe somewhere the movement is little low, you just need to make it high. Sounds good? And the other thing we talked about is Ardha Chandra, right? The half moon that we did, right? The half moon, we used it here. There is nothing moon about this, right? It just gives you a form, a stance of a soldier or a person, a Veera. Veera is what we call, Veera is a hero, right? A hero. So if you want to show a hero, of course heroes come in many different forms, but when you're visually representing, there are only few ways a person watching can understand it, right? So Veera does not have a specific form in real life, but when you're showing it, is the feeling. What we're showing is not the personality, outside personality, how you would feel inside, right? So your stance, again, we are using the Ardha Chandra hands, but we are using it to show the stance, right? Those are some of the details, and we also talked about the trunk of when we did the Ganesha. This we used for our showing the big ear, because he is an elephant-faced god. And then this is the trunk that goes up, right? Of course, the trunk can stay down too. For this particular pose, we chose to keep it there. Okay, so those are some of the moves that I want you to keep in mind. And yes, the last and very important one, Singham, right? Singham means Singham is lion. So we are also talking about Narasimha. This is another deity. In the Hindu tradition, you will find Narasimha. Narasimha means, Nara means human, Simha means lion. Nara and Simha coming together becomes Narasimha, right? So this song also actually is praise for Narasimha, but we used it because it does apply for a soldier, because a soldier has to be Narasimha when they are in the battlefield, right? So why we are showing is the fierceness. This staying focused on your goal. At the same time, you want to have a fierceness to your expression, right? So those are the hand movements. I just want to be clear so that way you know what you're doing, and we will review it one more time. Mainly, I would say just reflect back or just revise what I already talked about. Other than that, and also enjoy being a soldier. Don't worry about any of the moments if it is feeling difficult. Understand, okay, let's say sometimes that you're not able to hold it here for too long. That's never mind. Hold this very strongly. Right? So, mainly get into the role of the soldier and let the details follow. Sounds good? Let's do this one more time, so that way you feel complete and see if you can do with all these clear hand gestures that we talked about. And we can wrap up the class with that, the last rehearsal. Okay?
Mukharabosya mrugendra sugarjana Sabalamatta gajendra vimardana Vipinarat sadrusho balavanayam Samanujo
Thank you for joining me today. Hope you got a glimpse into the Indian culture and the traditions and just the ritualistic part that we usually get started. Probably got some understanding into all of that. And I would just recommend that you continue practicing. Don't worry about any difficulty in these dances. Just practice, take it slow. Because with practice and when you take it slow, everything becomes, the ease slowly comes in, right? The moment the ease comes in, this dance becomes your own. So enjoy and good luck with the practices.